I'm going to be showing you how to rescue all 24 Stan Lees in Peril in the open world city of Manhattan in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Let's get started. Okay, so Stan Lee number 1 is actually required during the story mode of the game, so if you play through the story, then you're already going to have this one unlocked, but I figured I'd show it anyway because it is part of the open world here. So down here at X Mansion, you're going to be playing as Jean Grey, so you have to mind control Stan Lee and have him turn this wheel to put out the fire. And once the fire is put out, there's going to be a cutscene showing that you can progress, and that's going to rescue Stan Lee at number 1. Stan Lee at number 2 is going to be located here at the Marvel headquarters building. So he's going to be at the front entrance, so he needs to be let in. So there's going to be a security guard that you can mind control with a character like Jean Grey, have him pull on the lever, and that's going to let Stan Lee in, rescuing Stan Lee at number 2. Stan Lee at number 3 is going to be located in Central Park, kind of in the top right corner from the orientation that I have positioned here. And so there's going to be a giant chessboard, so switch to a character that has senses like Wolverine or Spider-Man, then pull on the handle with, Mr. Fantastic or Spider-Man, anybody like that. That'll rescue Stan Lee at number 3. Stan Lee at number 4 is going to be located right here on the bottom right corner of the map, and this is a really cool one because this references the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008. So Stan Lee is going to be in front of this vending machine, and then he's going to transform into the Hulk. And so what you have to do is play as another big fig character like the Hulk and take him out, and once you do that, he turns back to normal, and that'll rescue Stan Lee number 4. Next up is Stan Lee number 5, located right here on the map, sort of near the X Mansion. And so what we need to do here is play as a fire character like Human Torch to melt this ice, revealing a claw switch, so then we can play as Wolverine to use the claw switch that's going to cause the fire hydrant to stop pumping water, and it's going to let Stan Lee down, rescuing Stan Lee at number 5. Stan Lee at number 6 is going to be located here to the left of Central Park with the way I have the map oriented in this guide. And so he's going to be on this rooftop, but as you approach him, there's going to be a cutscene revealing that there's this crane above him about to drop some debris right on top of Stan Lee. So what we need to do is move that debris over. And to do that, we have to take control of the crane. So if we fly up here to the crane controls, we can switch over to a claw character like Wolverine to use the claw switch. It's going to move it out of the way. It's just going to drop on some civilians below. That's okay, but as long as Stan Lee is safe, we're good to go. So that is Stan Lee at number 6. Next up is Stan Lee at number 7, located just underneath the Hydra level logo. And so what you need to do here is fly up here to the top of the Empire State Building. There's going to be a gorilla. I guess it's a reference to King Kong. I don't know, but we're going to take on the gorilla, take him out after hitting him a few times, and that'll rescue Stan Lee at number 7. For Stan Lee at number 8, we have to go to the SHIELD helicarrier, so this one's pretty easy to find. And so once we get up here, there's going to be this robot, the SHIELD robot or drone, kind of throwing Stan Lee around a little bit. So what we need to do is take out the robot, and I tried using a Thor's hammer, but it wouldn't target it. It's probably easiest just to use Iron Man and use this laser on it, but I was able to jump up here and do some damage to it, and that'll rescue Stan Lee at number 8. Alright, moving on to Stan Lee number 9, we're heading back to Central Park, and we're going to head to kind of the sandy beach area, because Stan Lee's going to be buried in the ground. There's going to be some Sandman minions that come and attack us, but what we need to do is switch to a digging character like Wolverine to dig up the Stan Lee in Peril. Next up is Stan Lee number 10, located to the right of Central Park, with the way I have the map oriented. And so for this one, he's going to be on top of this chimney on this building. So what we need to do is use Thor's hammer. You might be able to use a different character, but use Thor's hammer on this chimney. It's going to cause him to fall off, and that'll rescue Stan Lee at number 10. For Stan Lee number 11, we're heading back into Central Park. This time, Stan Lee's got himself trapped in the water, about to drown, because apparently Stan Lee can't swim. But here in the nearby beach here, there's going to be a life preserver, so we can switch to a magnetic character like Magneto to cause the life preserver to go right over Stan Lee. That'll rescue Stan Lee number 11. Next up is Stan Lee number 12. This is going to be located kind of at the top of the map with how I have it oriented for this guide. And so for this one, in this park area, Stan Lee's going to be in this taxi cab. So all you have to do is destroy the taxi cab. You can use pretty much any character. That'll rescue Stan Lee at number 12. Moving on to Stan Lee number 13. This one's going to be located kind of on the right side of the map next to Central Park. Just underneath this dumbbell icon, because there's going to be a giant dumbbell on top of Stan Lee. So what we need to do is switch to a big fig character to pick up that dumbbell, like Incredible Hulk, and that'll rescue Stan Lee number 13. Stan Lee number 14 is going to be located over here on the right side of the map on the train tracks. And this one's a little interesting because as you approach Stan Lee, you're going to have a little cutscene where the game goes black and white. There's going to be some magnetic Lego objects on top of Stan Lee, so we're going to switch over to Magneto to lift those off and rescue Stan Lee at number 14. Moving on to Stan Lee number 15, located kind of near the Shield helicarrier over here in the water. So we're going to head over here to this little harbor here. He's going to be in the boat. And so what we need to do is take out all of the sharks surrounding his boat. So I tried to use the Human Torch, but it didn't work too well. So what I ended up doing here is getting on top of Stan Lee's boat and just kind of manually attacking each shark, not using the beam. And once I did that, that took out all the sharks, and that rescued Stan Lee at number 15. Next up is Stan Lee at number 16, located on the Raft Prison Island. And so what we're going to do is approach the island here, and there's going to be a weak wall that he's behind. So what we need to do is switch over to a big fake character like the Incredible Hulk to take out that weak wall, and inside is going to be Stan Lee at number 16. Moving on to Stan Lee at number 17. This one's going to be located at the bottom of the map near the X Mansion. And so there's going to be a little picnic going on over here that's caught on fire. So what we need to do is put out the fire with a character like Iceman or Storm. And once the fire gets put out, that'll rescue Stan Lee at number 17. For Stan Lee number 18, we're going to be heading back into Central Park and back into that sandy beach area. So yeah, there's two Stan Lees kind of in the same area of the map. And so there's going to be a car here with a handle on it, so we can switch to a character like Mr. Fantastic or Spider-Man to pull on that handle, open up the door, and inside is going to be the Stan Lee in Peril. Moving on to Stan Lee number 19, located at the top of the map with the way I have it oriented for the guide. And it's going to be in the financial district next to the bank here. And in front of the bank, there's going to be this mailbox. All you have to do is just attack the mailbox with any character, and that'll rescue Stan Lee number 19. Next up is Stan Lee in Peril number 20, located on the Statue of Liberty Island. So what we have to do is fly up here to the Statue of Liberty, and where the torch is, we have to fly up here, and Stan Lee is going to be on the torch because this torch is literally on fire. So what we need to do is put out the fire with a character like Iceman or Storm, and that'll rescue Stan Lee in Peril number 20. Next up is Stan Lee at number 21, located right here on the map. And so for this one, what we have to do is fly over here to this little construction site looking area. And he's going to be surrounded by a bunch of Sandman goons, so we're just going to take all of them out. That'll rescue Stan Lee at number 21. Moving on to Stan Lee in Peril number 22, located here at the Roxxon building on the right side of the map. And for this one, Stan Lee is going to be electrocuted by the Roxxon power station. So for this one, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is fly up here and pull on this lever. That'll rescue Stan Lee in Peril number 22. Alright, we're almost done here, guys. Stan Lee number 23 is going to be located here in Central Park above the circus tents here. And so what you have to do is use a flying character, and there's going to be a balloon with Stan Lee kind of hanging on it. So you just have to destroy the balloon with any character, so I'm just going to use Human Torch to hit that. You have to hit it a couple different times. It's going to cause them to fall all the way down on top of the tent, rescuing Stan Lee 23. And last but not least, we have Stan Lee number 24, located inside of the Shield helicarrier. So to get to this one, you have to go to the Shield helicarrier. It's going to be an elevator in the middle here where you usually spawn when starting a new game. And we're going to go down the elevator here. Once we get inside, we're going to make our way to the left side passageway. And once we get in here, we're going to go over here to the right into Deadpool's room. And the Stan Lee in Peril is just going to have a shield box on top of him, so destroy that with any character. That'll rescue the final Stan Lee in Peril, number 24. So guys, those are all the Stan Lees in Peril in the open world of Manhattan here in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this. See you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.